Welcome back, focused learners. If you've been using AI lately, there's a really good chance you're treating it kind of like a glorified search engine. You punch in a question, you get some text back, and that's it. But today, we're going to completely shift how you look at Claude AI. The goal of this explainer is to take you from seeing Claude as just a basic chatbot to actually using it as a comprehensive, autonomous digital operating system for your entire life and business. We're going to break down 16 specific productivity and business hacks straight from entrepreneur Dan Martell. Dan Martell honestly says it best. He says, most people open Claude and use it like a fancy Google search. That's like buying a Ferrari and only driving it 10 kilometers an hour. I absolutely love this metaphor. It hits the nail on the head and perfectly captures the massive competitive advantage you're just leaving on the table if you aren't mastering these tools. I mean, the engine under the hood of Claude is capable of running your entire workflow, but, well, only if you know exactly which buttons to press. Okay, let's dive right into this. To master these 16 hacks, we're going to follow a really clear arc. First, the setup. Next, connecting your digital world. Then, from chat to creation, followed by total workflow automation. And finally, we'll wrap things up with the 1% mindset. So, starting off with Tier 1, the setup. Getting out of first gear. Now, the biggest friction point I hear from people switching over to Claude is this fear of losing all that context they've built up over in ChatGPT. But hack number 1 completely eliminates that. You can actually import your entire ChatGPT memory in under 2 minutes. Literally, you just go into your settings, hit capabilities, start the import, paste a simple prompt into ChatGPT, and then paste that output right back into Claude. Boom. It instantly knows everything about you. Oh, and speaking of speeding things up, hack number 8 is voice mode. Think about it. You can talk about 3 times faster than you can type, right? By simply tapping the microphone icon, whether you're sitting at your desk or out driving, you can just ramble through your messy thoughts. And Claude is smart enough to transcribe it perfectly, figure out what you mean, and deliver a crystal clear answer. It's a total game changer. And this actually brilliantly illustrates hack number 2. The model selector. Because, not all tasks require the exact same computing power. Claude essentially has 3 gears. First, you've got Haiku. This is the cheapest and fastest model, perfect if you just need to instantly summarize, say, 50 pages of meeting notes. Then you have Sonnet, which is your go-to for everyday tasks like drafting emails. And finally, there's Opus. You're going to use Opus when you need deep, complex thinking. Think identifying subtle patterns in really heavy business metrics. Choosing the right model saves you time and gets you significantly better results. Moving right along to Tier 2, connecting your digital world, the integrations. These connectors basically transform Claude from a simple tool into a fully integrated teammate. Let's look at Hack 3 Gmail. You can set up a shared Claude account so your assistant can actually self-serve answers straight from your inbox without ever having to interrupt you. Then there's Hack 4, Google Calendar. If you feed Claude your yearly goals, it basically becomes a business coach, analyzing your calendar to see if your day-to-day schedule actually aligns with those big targets. And finally, Hack 9, the Chrome extension. This thing automatically clicks, scrapes, and extracts insights from super messy web pages so you literally don't have to. All right, on to Tier 3. From chat to creation, the Creator Hub. This brings us to hack number 5, artifacts. Let me tell you, this is an absolute game changer. Instead of just spitting out paragraphs of text, Claude can actually generate working, interactive mini-apps right there inside the chat interface. So, for instance, let's say you need a way to track your team's sales. You don't need to go boot up Excel and build a spreadsheet from scratch. You just tell Claude, hey, build me a spreadsheet with sample sales data, make the columns editable, and include the rep's name and deal status. And within seconds, literally seconds, a functional, interactive app appears directly in your chat that you can instantly start using and tweaking. Expanding on that incredible capability are Hack 6 and 16, interactive visuals and Claude design. Hack 6 lets you build clickable visual frameworks like Dan Martell's Hype framework instantly, right through Slack. But Hack 16, it takes it even further with Claude design. You just describe, say, a visual workbook, and Claude will generate landing pages, pitch decks, and custom graphics that match your exact brand colors and style, all in a matter of minutes. It essentially turns anyone, and I mean anyone, into a highly capable designer. So the absolutely crucial point here is that context is everything. And that brings us to hack number 7, projects. Think of a project as your own dedicated workspace that's been preloaded with specialized knowledge. You click New Project, and you just drop in your specific context. Stuff like PDFs, internal documents, whatever you have on hand.
Martel, for example, preloads every single transcribed coaching call he's ever done right into a project. That way, when he needs to create some content about a very specific business challenge, he just asks the project to search through those transcripts and pull out real client stories. You can even set a system prompt to ensure it gives you the exact format you want every single time. It's kind of like having an expert consultant on retainer who perfectly remembers everything you've ever said.
Which leads us to Tier 4, Total Workflow Automation, the autonomous agent. Say hello to hack number 10, Cowork. Now, this does require a separate desktop app, but once you have it running, Claude can literally take control of your computer's mouse and keyboard to execute multi-step tasks while you go grab a cup of coffee. I mean, picture this. You type in, pull last month's sales numbers from HubSpot, build a summary chart in a Google Sheet, and post it to the team's Slack channel before 9 a.m. on Monday. Claude will break that request down and physically execute the clicks and keystrokes to get it done. It's literally like giving the AI its own set of hands. Crazy, right? To truly unleash this autonomous power, you need the automation toolkit. Hack 11 is scheduled tasks. You can tell Cowork to read and summarize your inbox every single morning, entirely on autopilot. Hack 12 is Claude Dispatch. Imagine you're out at dinner. You can just use your phone to tell your home computer to grab a crucial file and email it to your team. Hack 14 is Channels. Martel's friend Arturo literally checked into his flight just by sending a quick iMessage to his Claude bot while he was rushing to the airport. And finally, Hack 15 is Claude Skills. You can download pre-made skills, like the Humanizer, to automatically rewrite any AI-generated text so it sounds perfectly natural and human. But the absolute crown jewel of automation is Hack 13 Claude Code. This is an AI software developer that lets you build complex applications using nothing but plain English. As Martel says, AI is the only technology ever created that actively teaches you how to use it better. He actually shared a phenomenal story about one of his coaching clients, a guy named Todd. Todd is a 60-year-old CEO with absolutely zero technical or coding background whatsoever. But he locked himself in his office, used Claude Code to guide him step by step, and just 3 days later, he emerged having fully built his own custom CEO dashboard app. If you can talk, you can code. And that brings us to our final section, Tier 5, the 1% mindset, mastering the chaos. 99%. Looking at all these tools, the connectors, the autonomous agents, the coding, it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed by the sheer chaos of AI right now. People constantly worry that they're falling behind the curve. But the real truth? Nobody ever truly feels ahead because the technology is just moving way too fast. The secret isn't knowing everything, it's just doing the work. You don't need to implement all 16 of these hacks today. If you take action and implement just one single tool from this explainer, you are instantly putting yourself further ahead than 99% of people out there. So that brings us to the ultimate question. Which hack will you use today? Are you going to import your ChatGPT memory, let Cowork build a spreadsheet for you, or maybe you're feeling adventurous and want to try designing an app with Claude Code? Please, don't let this information just sit there. Pick one, set it up right now, and start driving that Ferrari at the speed it was meant to go. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, Focus Learners. Get to work, and I'll catch you on the next one.